Unit 5 review. Number 1. What factor do the following trinomials have in common? So on the first one, I'm going to do the x method. Reason being, a equals 1, b equals 2, c equals -8. So I would put -8 at the top, 2 at the bottom, find the factors of -8. You could use a +1 on -8, -1, +8, a -2 and a +4, +2 and a -4. The sums would be -7, +7, 2, and -2. So the factors that are correct would be -2 and 4 because they give you 2. So the factors of the first trinomial would be x minus 2 times x plus 4. On the second one, I recognize that 4 goes into itself and into 80. So the GCF is 4. So factor it outside. When you factor it outside, bring down the remaining signs. So the new trinomial inside would be x squared minus x minus 20. So now I would factor the inside. A is equal to 1, B equals -1, C equals -20. So I'm looking for the factors of -20 that give me -1. So you got 120, sorry, 1 -20, -1 20, 2 -10, -2 10, 4 -5, -5 4. The sum, -19, +19, -8, +8, -1, +1. Oh no, sorry. Those are the same factors. This should be a positive and a -4 for a +1. The winning factors are 4 and -5. So with the GCF outside, the factors would be x plus 4 times x minus 5. So the factor that they have in common is x plus 4. 2. The volume of a rectangular prism can be expressed by 18x to the 5th minus 36x cubed plus 27x. If the height is 9x, what expression models the area of the prism's base? So the formula for volume of a prism is equal to B times H, where big B is the area of the base and H is height. So they're giving us the volume, 18x to the 5th minus 36x to the 3rd plus 27x. We don't know big B, but we do know the height is 9x. So to find big B, you're going to have to divide both sides by 9x. So what I recommend doing is separating every term. So 18x to the fifth divided by 9x minus 36x cubed divided by 9x plus 27x divided by 9x. And again, this is going to equal b. So I know that 18 divided by 9 is 2. X to the fifth divided by x, you're going to subtract your powers. 36 divided by 9 is 4. Again, you're going to subtract your powers on your x term, so that's x minus 1. 27 divided by 9 is 3. And x to the 1 minus 1 is equal to b. So let's keep simplifying. So that's 2 to the power 2x to the power of 4 minus 4x to the power of 2 plus 3. Just plus 3 is equal to the area of the base. 1 minus 1 is 0, and x to the 0 power is equal to 1. Don't forget about that rule. 3. What is the corrected factorization of x cubed minus 125? So we have a difference of cubes. So we're going to use the first formula that's right here. So I need a little parentheses and a big parentheses. In the little parentheses, we need the same sign. In the big, we need the opposite first, and then always positive second. Again, remember to use SOAP. Same sign, opposite, always positive. So x cubed is a perfect cube because x times x times x. 125 is a perfect cube because of 5 times 5 times 5. So again, we take the first branch from each term and put it in the first parentheses on the corrected, on the, um, in the proper location. Then you take the second branch, second two branches, multiply them. That leads the first. So x times x is x squared. The second two branches of the second term, multiply them. That's your ending term, so 25. And then in the middle, you put the joint branches. So x times 5 is 5x. So that's the corrected factorization of x cubed minus 125. On number 4, we have the sum of cubes. So we're going to use the second formula right here. So again, I need a little parentheses and I need a big parentheses. In the little parentheses, it's going to have the same sign, so a plus sign. In the big parentheses, we're going to see the opposite sign first and then always positive second. Soap, soap, soap. Use soap. So x cubed again is x times x times x. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So we take the first branch from both terms and put them in the respective places in the small. We then take the last two branches of the first term to lead the first term of the big parentheses. So that's x squared. Take the last two branches of the second term. That is the ending term in the big one, so 4. And then unite both branches, both sets of branches. So take one branch from each and put it in the middle. So x times 2 is 2x. 5. What factor do the following polynomials have in common? So the first one is a difference of squares. The reason it's perfect squares is because x squared is x times x. 36 is 6 times 6. So when you factor a difference of squares, you have two sets of parentheses, one positive, one minus, and then you write the factors inside. So x plus 6, x minus 6. On the other polynomial, it's a trinomial, so we're going to use either x or slide and divide. A equals 1, b equals negative 10, c equals 24. So we'll just use the x, put 24 at the top, negative 10 at the bottom, find the factors of 24, 1 and 24, negative 1, negative 24, 2 and 12, negative 2, negative 12, 3 and 8, negative 3, negative 8, 4 and 6, negative 4, negative 6. Now find the sums. 25, negative 25, 14, negative 14, 11, negative 11, 10, and negative 10. So the winners of this round are negative 4, negative 6. Again, because I get B, negative 10. So the factors would be x minus 4 times x minus 6. So the factor that both polynomials have in common are x minus 6. Number 6 wants us to factor this trinomial. It leads with a number. So let's check for a GCF. So 5x squared is the same thing as 5 times x times x. 18x is the same thing as 2 times 9 times x. And then 9 is 3 times 3. So again, I could take this into 3 times 3 as well. So when I look at all three terms, none of them have the exact same factor. So there is no GCF. So currently A is 5, B is negative 18, and C is 9. So since A is not 1, we're going to slide and divide. Slide 5 over to the 9 to leave you with x squared minus 18x plus 45. So you multiply the 5 with the 9. Now A is 1, B is still negative 18, and C is 45. Now we apply the x. So we got positive 45 at the top, negative 18 at the bottom. Find the factors of 45. 145, 2 doesn't go into it, 3 goes into it. 15 times. I forgot about the negative ones. We know that 5 goes into it 9 times. So negative 1, negative 45, negative 3, negative 15, and negative 5, negative 9. Okay, so the winners, well, let's find the sum. 46, 18, 14, negative 46, negative 18, negative 14. So negative 3, negative 15 would win. So we write our factors as x minus 3 times x minus 15. Now, since I slid and multiplied by 5 originally, I now must go back and divide 5. When you divide, leave it as a fraction in lowest terms. So you get x minus 3/5 and x minus 3. Last but not least, we cannot leave a fraction in our answer. So simply take that 5 and move it in front. And that's the last step. So 5x minus 3 times x minus 3. The area of a rectangular wall is described by 6x plus 5x minus 6. If the height of the wall is 2x plus 3, find the length of the wall. So the formula for area is length times width, or base times height. So they gave us the area, so we're going to put 6x squared plus 5x minus 6 in place of a. They're giving us the height, so we don't know the base. So we would divide both sides by 2x plus 3. To get b by itself. Okay, so that's supposed to be divided. So we're missing a factor. So we know that one factor is 2x plus 3. We have to figure out what would be in the other parentheses. And our result has to be 6x squared plus 5x minus 6. We know 6x squared comes first, and we know minus 6 leads. We also know that one of the factors is 2x and then a plus 3. So let's see if we can fill in the rest of the box. So ask yourself, what times 2 gives you 6? So 3. What times x gives you x squared? X. Okay. So if this is 3x, then 3x times positive 3 is a positive 9x. Okay. What would this last digit be? So if I have a positive 9x and I end up with a positive 5x, that means I had to take 4 away. So I need this to be a negative 4x. So the only way for that to be a negative 4x is if I multiply by a negative 2. So let's see if it makes sense. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. 3 times 3x, positive 9x. Positive 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So yes, the length of the wall is 3x minus 2. Number 8, how many of the following polynomials have been incorrectly factored? So we can multiply these back to see if we get the one on the left. So to multiply, you can use FOIL. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 3x. Negative 5 times x, negative 5x. And negative 5 times negative 3 is a positive 15. Combine your like terms, you would have x squared minus 8x plus 15. So this one is incorrectly factored. Let's check the other one. So the other one says x minus 2 to the power of 2, which is the same thing as x minus 2 times x minus 2. So again, we can use FOIL or use a box, whichever you're most comfortable with. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 2, negative 2x. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4. Combine your like terms, you would have x squared minus 4x plus 4. So again, that's incorrectly factored. On the third one, x times x is x squared. X times negative 9, negative 9x. 9 times x, positive 9x. 9 times negative 9, negative 81. Combine your like terms, you would have x squared minus 81 because 9x and negative 9x cancel each other out. So this one is correctly factored. For the third one, it's not FOIL, it's distribute to everything. So x goes to everything and 2 goes to everything. But to help keep track, I would definitely recommend using a box for this one. And we need a 2 by 3 box because we have 2 terms times 3 terms. So I would put x plus 2 on this side here and x squared plus 2x plus 4 at the top. So x times x squared is x cubed. X times 2x, positive 2x is positive 2x squared. X times positive 4 is positive 4x. Positive 2 times x squared is positive 2x squared. Positive 2 times positive 2x, positive 4x. Positive 2 times positive 4, positive 8. So bring the results out. So I would have x cubed first plus 2x squared plus 4x. Then I have positive 2x squared again, so line it up with this one. Then another positive 4x, and then a positive 8. So stack your like terms if it helps you. So the final answer would read x cubed plus 4x squared plus 8x plus 8. So again, this one is incorrectly factored. 9, let's multiply these 3 binomials, but we have to take 2 at a time. So when you take 2 binomials, you can use the FOIL method. So 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative x times 2x is a negative 2x squared. Negative x times negative 1 is a positive x. Rearrange and combine your like terms. So write it in standard form. So I would lead with negative 2x squared. Then combine 4x with x and get 5x. And then I have a minus 2. So now I'm going to take this result and multiply it with x minus 7. So I need a 3 by 2 box. So negative 2x squared plus 5x minus 2, x minus 7. X times negative 2x squared, negative 2x cubed. X times positive 5x, positive 5x squared. X times negative 2, negative 2x. Negative 7 times negative 2x squared, positive 14x squared. Negative 7 times positive 5x, negative 35x. Negative 7 times negative 2, positive 14. So bring the results out the box and stack your like terms. So I have negative 2x cubed plus 5x squared minus 2x plus 14x squared minus 35x plus 14. 14 as a final answer. Let's pause right here for a moment and we'll be back.